I did 6 miles yesterday. I'm up to like I I've never run this much in my life. Like this is it's actually kind of sick. Like
Eh,
in this month, I am 46 miles in on running,
Jeez, peace.
and like
That's
it's been so much, and it's changed my thought process on shit. Like taking my time with running. Like a lot of times people want to jump out the gate and they want to like I want to set a good time, and the best way I can set a good time is like to start off fast. And like I'll start off with like a very slow pace, like or at least slow for me, which would be like 11 or 12 minutes a mile. And I'm like I'll start
yeah.
stressing myself out, like how am I gonna get back to this 9 minutes? And then I'll look down after I'm crossing 2 miles, and then I'm shrinking that time. And it's like you don't feel like you're moving faster, but your body's warming up. So then your pace is like inevitably creeping up. So then once I lock in around 10, 12 minutes, like I'm moving. And so I had to do a 10K,
Okay.
and it was that's 6.2 miles, and I did it in about an hour and a minute. I did this Monday, and like it was early in the morning, and it's this ridiculous route, and like I've gotten to the point now where I can breathe through my nose while I'm still running, like
Oh, this
these
nigga's
long
a sicko.
distances.
Yes, sir.
That's really when I realized like, oh, I'm getting it. Like, cause I'm still breathing through my nose, and I look down, it's like
Yeah.
mile four, mile five, and I'm like, oh, my ankles don't feel bad, my hip doesn't hurt, my lower back is a little bit funky, but whatever, my knees are fine, and I just do like these system checks. And what made me know that my breathing was fine is because I stopped thinking about it. Like usually I'm thinking
Incredible.
about like, oh, my knee or my hip, but then I'm like, oh shit, I'm not like panting. Like I'm breathing through my nose
Yeah.
this entire time. So yeah, this that has been rewarding to see like seeing thinking like, oh, I gotta run 6 miles, like that would like stress me the fuck out like before I can even get on the road. And now I'm like running an hour is not like now I look at like 30 minutes is like, okay, that's light, whatever, I can run this 30 minutes. But
Yeah.
like once you start creeping up into those longer runs, it gets crazy. Also, um I went to dry cleaning today and I dropped something off, and she's like, oh, you got something to pick up too. And I was like, what?
I
I
do.
kind of thought I did,
Do
but I
I?
couldn't remember if I did. And she was like, how do you forget? And it's like it's really nice tracksuit right there. And it's and I was like, oh, I would have really wanted to, I'd have been upset if I didn't have that. She's like, how do you forget you have that? I was like, I don't know. I clearly have a problem. I just am
I got
always
clothes.
yeah, and
I
it's
got clothes.
I put it down. So then I looked, I'm like, oh, I remember why I wore this. This was early mid April. So I'm like, oh shit, man, it's been there for like a month. I know they'd be like, yo, if you don't pick your shit up in 30 days, like whatever, whatever. And I'd have been tight if because I would have never known, I guess, but then I'd have been looking at someday like, yo, where is that Puma
Yeah,
Nipsey outfit that I had?
you just been looking. This has been looking. I was
Yeah.
like, babe, have you seen it? Is
Uh,
it in your? Is it mixed in with your stuff?
I'd have been totally upset. But
No,
totally
about the
cool.
running though.
Yeah.
About the running, that I take that as a tip now. I take that as a tip of like not trying to set the pace as soon as you start running because then you have to maintain
Do
it. Just slowly work
you
up.
use the Nike Run app?
I don't, and
So
you've told me to.
because Coach Bennett, so I don't really like listening to talking when I run, like a
Mhm.
podcast. Like I usually listen to music, but Coach Bennett he does these things called guided runs. So every time like I do these marathon trainings, and they have all these runs that they expect for you to do in the week, and they all have a guided run attached to it. So you download the guided run, and it starts off usually with him talking, and he's setting kind of the mood of the race, like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what you need to be thinking. And so one of his big things is like, look, this is going to be the slowest part of your race. It's not going
Right,
to be I didn't say run slow, but it's going to be the slowest part of your race. And he always uses like these very loose metaphors where it could be about running, or it could be about life, but it's like the same. It's like, and it's one of his favorite lines is like, this is about running, but this is also not about running. So he's the one that kind of got me into like, all right, you need to start off taking your time and
Right.
then build your speed up, because then once your body's warm and your joints are warm and everything, then you'll be able to run for longer versus like you trying to jump out the gate fast and then now
Right.
you're gassed. And now like if you could, the best thing you could do is keep your mind at ease during this run, because you're already thinking about how many steps, how many miles, how long it's going to be. If your shoes are right, you got a rock in your shoe, these socks suck. Like if you could just minimize the noise a little bit, right, then you should be fine. So to me, he will come in every so often and just like, hey, I'm just checking in on you. Don't, hey, you're running at a good pace. You know what I want you to do? Keep that same pace. System check. How's everything going? He'll just kind of pop in every so often, and
Right.
it almost feels like it's resetting that clock for you. So as soon as I'm starting to stress myself out about, damn, why the fuck am I even out here? This is stupid. I'm sweating all over the place. Then he comes in and just kind of like
That's far.
fix everything for me. And then I'm like, okay, cool. And then by the time I look up, I'm like, oh shit, I'm halfway through this run and I got a really good pace and I'm not stressed out. So if you ever get the chance to do a guided run, like even if it's like he has ones for everything, even if it's like a 10-minute run, a 15-minute run, a 2K, a 3K, whatever. He has literally a run for, and sometimes Megan Thee Stallion was one. She was one.
I'll do that.
There was
I'll
a,
do
there was,
that.
there was like, yeah, she was just calling you a hottie the whole time. So
I'll
like,
have the Megan, please.
yeah. So they had one with John Carlos, the Olympic gold medalist. They had him on there once, actually three
That's
times.
cool.
Jerry Lorenzo's sister, um, what's her name? Angel or Manuel or something like that. But she's one of the Nike athletes, and she does three things on there. They're all just, I swear by them. Like I used to like think running with the music was just fine, but having these guided runs to just kind of pop in every so often, it just kind of puts
And
my mind at ease.
it's on top of the music, so like your musical fade and they'll pop in.
It'll lower, so it's like it gives you like a bed underneath them talking, and it's never very long, like a minute here, 2 minutes here,
Yeah,
and then he'll pop out. He's like, I'll leave you to your devices and I'll get back to you at mile 2 or at 2K or 5K. Like during my
it's
10K run, he
yeah,
he gets back to you at 1K, then he gets back here at 2, then he gets back here at like mile 2, then like he just kind of keeps going on, and I'm like, okay,
that's
this is
fire.
perfect. Yeah, super cool. Yeah, love Coach Bennett. It looks
So
like Ted
yeah,
Lasso.
that they need to do that. Actually, they need to actually have a Ted Lasso joint.
You know,